So we all know that Celestia and Luna are rules of Equestria, but where did they come from? Perhaps Celestia and Luna are rules of Equestria, but where did they come from? Now we know the royal sisters live in Caroline in the castle, but where did they come from? Perhaps a civilization outside of Equestria? Now I'm not saying they came here to save any pony or anything like that, but think about it. Why and how did they come to how they get here? And honestly, maybe they came from an Alcorn civilization. No one knows really, but if I were to guess, there is some kind of ancient civilization out there that was nothing but Alcorns. Now, if you would put that into perspective, what would that look like? Outside of Equestria, perhaps. Even though they might come from an ancient civilization, that doesn't quite mean anything. But think about it. If there was actually an Alcorn civilization, why did only Celestia and Luna come? Did someone send them to maintain peace and harmony? Or did they really come to stop discord and just figure out, hey, maybe we should stay here, it seems pretty cool? For me, that kind of doesn't make any sense any more than it kind of makes it feel like it's a bit condescending for some ponies because they don't know who Celestia and Luna are. They don't know anything about them. They just came here from a distant world and we know nothing about them. They could be like King Summer for all we know. But honestly, is that really the only reason you don't want them in power? Well, some ponies might say that, oh, they're just here to tell us what to do and what not to do. No, the thing is, they come from a different world that much different from your own. So why would you automatically assume that they're here to do bad or like enslave every pony, or even if you think they're bad, take the time to at least consider them a little bit better rules than maybe Discord, because Discord is honestly the Lord of Chaos. So why would you even think? If you're really honest with yourself, what do Celestia and Luna have to offer? Ask yourself that question. But even though Celestia and Luna aren't very active in the show, they still have great personalities and they do show themselves quite a bit. But in retrospect, it also makes you wonder if Celestia and Luna are actually good rulers of Equestria. Now, I would say my own piece, but I think I should explain to you a little bit more. There are different parts of their personalities that we've never seen. Luna, obviously, is the younger sister, but a lot more mature than Celestia. Celestia is a bigger sister, but she's a lot more childish than Luna is. Therefore, if we can put that into more perspective, that could only be because a lot of siblings in the human world act that way. I personally have some friends that happen to. So, if we think of Luna, we would think she's more of an old English kind of pony because she speaks like the old Roman Empire did. So, if we were to take them and put them with, I don't know, an ancient civilization, what would it look like? Would there be ponies there looking just like them? Well, maybe not. Now, there's a lot of stuff going around that Luna was not born in Alicorn. But what if they earned their horns or wings by doing something in that civilization that we were born into? Now, here's something I don't understand. If Celestia and Luna, after seeing Shining Armor and Kaizen's baby, Flurry Heart, why would they say that a baby alicorn is heard of even by them. That's never been heard of before. Like, why would that be? Why would that be a comment by Celestia or Luna if there is no real alicorn in the world? What about where you came from? Now, I'm not saying they're liars or anything. I'm just saying that would have been classified long ago. And Celestia honestly has some kind of knowledge of some kind of wherever she came from. Now, there are some stuff that I want to say about it. First of all, Luna should have said something when Celestia said something as well. But when she didn't, I honestly thought, does Luna know something we don't? Or does Celestia? Now, honestly, she might have done the same thing Twilight did, finish a spell in her alicorn civilization. Or she might have just not thought that she was not born alicorn. If she was, that would raise the question of why she asked or told the main six that there's never been an alicorn baby. Why would that be a comment for anyone to actually understand? Because as we know, we never seen the alicorn civilization if there ever was one. We never saw where Celestia and Luna came from. We never saw before they came to Equestria to rule over Discord or trap Discord in stone. But honestly, what would it be like if Celestia and Luna didn't come to rule? Well, Discord will obviously be in power if the main six didn't stop him already. But there's gotta be some kind of way to stop the Lord of Chaos, right? We saw in an episode that Discord made the world chaotic. And that caused a lot of problems with the other ponies. But if we're really honest, what came before Discord? Now, if we were to make something out of pure perspective or theory, we should look at Celestia and Luna's Q marks. One is the sun, and one is the moon. That could raise a lot of suspicions. Now, alicorns sure as heck are immortal, right? Now, Twilight became an alicorn, therefore does that make her immortal? Does she live forever now? While her friends will die? That makes me feel really, really insecure. If we really made that, if we really honestly made a question about that, what would be the answer? Now, Celestia versus the sun. Okay, granted. Luna versus the moon. Also granted. But who raised the sun and moon before them? Obviously, you don't know. But then, neither do I. So, if we were to make a question about that, what would really be the answer? We've got so much to uncover, but yet we know nothing about where Celestia and Luna came from, or what their intent was. What about the other alicorns that sent them, maybe? Well, they stayed behind, because they thought Celestia and Luna were worthy enough to go to Equestria and defeat Discord, if they even heard about it. Now, Equestria is a big, big place, and we see only in Twilight's Q map that the Pixie Peril and the Equestria Empire and all that is on the very edge of the map. So therefore, there could easily be an eloquent civilization way beyond Equestria. Probably on the other side of the world, maybe. But that raises the question, how did they get there? And why? There wasn't much to say about this, but honestly, if I had to choose something, it'd be a bit more along the lines of, they didn't go just to stay in Equestria. They simply went to defeat Discord and then go back. But then they saw how in disarray the Equestria was, so they stayed to maintain peace and harmony and order. So that also made me believe that Celestia and Luna didn't want to go back because of how much they thought they would be missed because of the defeat of Discord. They became famous and royal, yes, but were they royal in their civilization? If so, why were they not princesses before then? And what makes it different? If we were to have them in our world, would our life be different? I would say yes, because no one is accustomed to ponies ruling their life, right? Now, I could say a million things about this, but I'm going to keep it very short. Aren't we all just living under one person? The president, for example, if you're in the US, or Queen Elizabeth, if you live in UK. Putin, if you're in Russia. Kim Jong-un, if you're in Korea. Every other administrator or anything else in any kind of country, whether it be Canada or Russia or Germany or even Japan, every prime minister has their own laws. But the president is over the whole US, and there's different laws in the state. Now, is that the same way for Equestria? Because Canada law is one city. But there's also Ponyville, Yakistan, Saudi Arabia, Manhattan. There's a lot of stuff in different cities. So are there mayors of that city? Or are there sisters over all of Equestria? Now, obviously that's not true, because Cadence is an alicorn, and she is the princess of the Christian Empire. So, would that mean she's just in charge of that one city? Are the royal sisters sharing Equestria? Split right down the middle? Or is it just them being rulers in their own kind of city? Now, also, granted, there's a Empress Dragon in the Dragonlands. Okay. There is probably a prime minister or a president somewhere in Manhattan. Or maybe Saudi Arabia. Or Yakistan. Well, actually, no, Prince... Yeah, okay. There is one there. But if we're really being honest, and we're actually being a questionable... what is it about the royal sisters that we don't understand quite yet? Honestly, it's hard to say. But we have so many different resources we can dig up. The internet, for example, you can easily look up on Eloquent Civilization. It will show you pictures. Now, if any of you knew, if anybody out there knows the movie Star Wars, which you should already know Coruscant, the city planet. So, would you think the Alcuin civilization looks like that without all the flying vehicles? Or would it be a little bit smaller with high towers? That's kind of hard to explain. If I were to make a video showing Coruscant with the Alcuin civilization, what would it look like? Well, we don't know. It might look like a pyramid building, or maybe Stonehenge, maybe some pyramids of some sort. But Stonehenge is a bit far-fetched. We don't really know anything about Celestia and Luna, where they came from, how they came to be, who they were before coming to Equestria. But is there really much of a discussion that's needed here? I don't think so. Because if we really think about it, is there even a real civilization to look forward to see in the series? Maybe in Point of Life? Next Generation? Maybe. Maybe not. But there are a few things that we gotta think about. Now, I'll let you guys do that on your own. But feel free to ask me any questions in the comments below, or through email. Now, there's a lot of things that I want to say, but they're not really related to this video. Therefore, I'll save it for another time. But one thing before I let you go. This is a very hard topic to talk to you about, because there's a lot of hard questions I ask myself. There's a lot of hard questions I ask you guys. But if we think about it, did Celestia and Luna really just come from a civilization? Or were they just somewhere else in Equestria and her Discord was reigning and to feed him just so they could stay in Camelot? That's a different story for a different time. Until then, Professor Ember is signing off until next time. Class is dismissed.